Lynn starts off this hour in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Hi, Lynn. How are you?
Hi, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Well, I need your advice. My husband and I own some restaurants that are a franchise. I do the books, and he's in the stores. He mingles with the customers and everything, which he's awesome at. He's a total extrovert. So my question is, he's a rather sloppy person, and he's rather disorganized. So my question is, since he represents our company, how important it is his appearance to success? He does things such as he wears tube socks with his nice shoes. He wears out-of-season clothing. He keeps his car is filthy inside and out. He has cut his own hair just over his ears, and his hair is very straight, so it makes it stand straight out. When he goes on a business trip, he carries his clothes in a Walmart bag instead of a piece of luggage. So am I being too critical, or he's an awesome husband, awesome father. I just sometimes his appearance worries me. Mm-hmm. What do you think?
Well, I think that, when I got into the real estate business, I was 18 years old. 3 weeks after I turned 18, I passed my real estate test. That summer, my parents, who ran a real estate company, gave me 2 or 3 books to read. One of them I was rereading that they'd made me read when I was 13, How to Win Friends and Influence People. But there was an old book out in those days, and that's 1,000 years ago, right? I mean, this is 30, 40 years ago now.
Right, right.
And so, but the book was called How to Dress for Success by Steve Malloy. Oh. And the book was by Steve Malloy. Why do I remember that? I guess just because it was, and in those days, the way you dressed for success was IBM, white shirt, tie, dark suit, and people don't dress that way anymore much, unless you're on Wall Street or something. But, the number of people wear a tie anymore anywhere is very, very low, except in certain situations. But I'm saying, even in church, people dress differently than they did back then. But that left that impression on me that everyone judges you initially by your appearance. It's the first impression, as they say. Right. And so, that is a concern. And here's the thing here's the thing he needs to think about, is not that his wife's harping on him about, how he dresses, because that's like a federal law. Your wife is supposed to harp on you about how you dress. That's federal law. Mine does that too, okay? But that's normal. There's nothing wrong with that. But from a business perspective, one of the things I've discovered, John Maxwell has a book out, one of my favorite leadership writers, and he's a good friend of mine, and his best-selling book, and he's written a bazillion of them, is called 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. And I liked the book so much that I licensed my own version of it and wrote the foreword to it for my people to use. That's how much I believe in those 21 laws. One of the laws, I believe it's law number 3, is called the law of the lid. And the law of the lid in leadership says your business will never outgrow you. You're the problem, and you're the solution with your business. So if you want your business to grow, you personally have to be growing. You have to be reading and learning things you didn't know. You have to be becoming a better leader. You have to grow because you're the problem. And if you don't grow at all, don't expect your business to grow. And what's happened is you guys, because of your husband's wonderful personality, he has overcome his appearance.
Yes, I agree.
But it's not a quirky brand. It's a distraction. And so, listen, I am far from giving anybody fashion advice ever. My family laughs at me all the time, just like you're talking about, okay? So, but I do know when I walk into a room with a customer or with one of my team members that how I am dressed and my appearance and my grooming affects the discussion. And if it's distracting, if I'm coming in there wearing 1974 tube socks to my knees, it's distracting, and it becomes a joke in a bad way.
Right.
And so, because it's such a credibility miss. And so I'm saying that as a lid on what he can become as a business person, as a lid on how great his business can be and how much the customers can be there, yes, his appearance matters to the point that it's not distracting. And
Okay.
people with grooming, they do things that are distracting, and they do things with their clothing that are distracting. And so he it'd be okay if he just didn't dress to suit you, but it was just to where nobody noticed it. But they're noticing this. What you described to me was, if you're accurately describing that, and I suspect you are, and what he is he's just a guy that's not concerned about that to the extreme.
You're right. I'm not sure if he's going for the Sam Walton look. Where
no, Sam was a better dresser than you described. Sam didn't cut his own hair. Mr. Sam was groomed.
I agree.
Okay?
I agree.
His hair didn't stick out. He didn't have nose hairs hanging out. It wasn't distracting to sit down and talk to Sam Walton. And he was a smart guy, but he wasn't necessarily a flashy dresser. He wasn't spending a lot of money on. He wasn't a clothes horse. He wasn't fashion conscious. Virtually every guy listening to me going, yeah, I got that T-shirt, I got that sweatshirt. I've got one that's probably 15 years old that I wear at home. But I don't wear it to work.
Right.
And I don't wear it on stage when I'm talking to people about how to handle their money. It would affect whether or not I had credibility with them or not.
Right.
Even though I don't really care about that stuff, but I have to care about it limiting or messing with my effectiveness as a business owner and a business leader. And that's why he needs to care about this. Not because he needs to have a fashion statement, or not because, haircuts don't matter. Well, yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. When you come in with a complete mohawk and it's pink, it matters. It affects, if you're in a punk rock band, people go, yay, rah. If you're applying to be the vice president of a bank, people go, you're an idiot. You're not hired. So, how you dress impacts your ability to speak into and have credibility with certain situations. And so, he just doesn't want to be known as the clown for his sake. But this is different than a wife discussion. So I would put it on a management level or a leadership level discussion. Let me send you a copy of that book. You can use it to have the discussion, that law of the lid. It helps me do things that I wouldn't normally do for the good of my place. Hold on, I'll have Kelly give you one.